Oh, let me fix you up a little bit here. Hello everyone, my name is ThePandaPhotographer, and let's talk about Jordan Neely, the young black man that was choked to death on a subway train platform. So earlier this week in New York City, a ex-Marine with martial arts skills decided to take justice in his own hands and choke out a young 30-year-old black male that is a subway street performer. Keep this in mind that he's also homeless, and I wanted to talk to New York City about this because I'm trying to show solidarity to Jordan, because there's a lot of misconception and there's a lot of deception among New Yorkers. So with that, tell everyone, take this video with a grain of salt. I'm a travel documentarian photographer. And the last year, or the last 2 years while being in New York City, I have seen some very inconsistencies behavior. Now, I want to talk to New York City personally. I want to say to New York City, like, I appreciate that you guys are protesting out there, because I don't understand why NYPD released this man that had a background of martial arts skills. And keep in mind, I also have a background in martial arts skills. But I would never put someone in a chokehold unless I'm being put in danger. So, with that said, let's start the story to the beginning. So, reports are out that Jordan himself was asking people for food on the subway platform or on the subway car. And he's being hostile. They said that he was being hostile and very aggressive in his words. And he was taunting people on the subway. But that doesn't give a right for someone to choke out a person. First and foremost, New York City, you didn't recognize who he was before. When he was street performing for you on the subway cars, did you offer $1 or $2? Some may have, and most have not. Because if most did, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be homeless. If a street performer entertains you and you contribute, he might be able to pay rent. He might be able to survive elsewhere instead of sleeping on the streets and sleeping on the subway platform. So I asked New York City, where were you at the time when he has been out here during the winter hours, suffering, looking for food? And this is what really led to this tragedy: food. The lack of responsibility from the city of New York City. Food is the most important essential to a homeless individual. It gives us strength, it gives us the nutrition during the day, it gives us the power to walk and seek and put smiles on our face because we got what we needed. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, right before your eyes, you're talking to an actual homeless man that is making YouTube content while traveling. And yes, I'm houseless. Do you care about me? Or do you care about yourselves? Because where were you when Jordan Neely needed you for assistance? That is the real question here in New York City. That goes for everyone, including the citizens. Now you want to protest and retaliate why the city failed him? It's easy. You guys don't stick up to what is right. And now you're doing it, but you're doing it the wrong way. You don't go on the subway platforms, you don't protest, you don't jump on the tracks, almost get electrified by the third rail. At 63rd Street and Lexington Avenue, I saw that report. Pretty disgraceful. So I ask you New Yorkers, what are you going to do when the next homeless person gets victimized by NYPD or another resident or citizen of the city, which most of you are not natives in this city? So I really want to ask this question: what can you do now to prevent another incident like this to happen to another homeless man or woman? You can't. Because honestly, no one cares about the homeless community in New York City. I just posted a video about how people walk by homeless every day and don't even say good morning to them. But you see homeless people saying good morning, how you doing, do you have $1? I know some of you may not want to give money because they might be doing something wrong with the money. And I agree that sometimes even I do not want to give out money to someone in need, but I will buy them food instead in need. Because that's what they need, is nutritional food. They need to have, first and foremost, does anyone know men's health or women's health? How many calories are you supposed to intake a day to order to keep sustainable structure in your body? It's supposed to be a 2,500 calorie meal. You're supposed to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Did you know most homeless men and women, and I can testify for myself, that I don't eat for days at a time because I have to save money. I have to save and save for something very important. Some people do not want to save money. Some people buy other things with money. But I, personally, want to share this story because Jordan was one of those men that was really tired of being abused by this city. And he was being abused by this city, by everyone. No one cared that he was a street performer when he was street performing. Oh, another Michael Jackson impersonator. I have seen many. But you don't get it. Jordan fell in love with the artist. Jordan fell in love with the craft. Jordan fell in love with the moves of Michael Jackson. So he wanted to shed his side and solidarity as a performer why he loves Michael Jackson, why he decided to be a street performer in New York City. He wanted to give you guys something in return. And this is what you give him in return. Death, a tragedy, choking a man because he's hungry, because he's angry, because he's upset that the city failed him, and the people that run the city and work for the city and live in the city failed him. So I ask you this, do you care about any of the homeless out here? I know there's a lot of homeless out here that you are afraid of, and I don't blame you, because there are homeless men and women out here that are so intimidated and so violent, and I can preach for that because I'm against that. This is why I educate homeless men and women that you do not have to do anything stupid to get your questions and your answers out to the public. But no, there are individuals that literally want to cause harm and mischief, even towards the other homeless men and women and children in New York City. So I don't blame New York City, but I do blame New York City for not taking an initiative to do something about it. Because if you would have done something about it, Jordan wouldn't be in this situation. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. How many homeless men and women are out here right now? There's 2 homeless men right there in the park collecting cans, getting vitamin D from the sun. No one's feeding these men. They gotta feed themselves. And that's what we do out here every day, try to feed ourselves. But you, as a city, try to prevent that from happening. You have NYPD tell homeless men and women not to solicitate. But guess what? You have men and women that are street performers that do not have a permit. They sell food on the subway, do not have a permit, but they are soliciting. So that's not fair, New York, that you favor one, but don't favor the other. I don't understand that. I don't understand why MTA, subway personnel, couldn't call the police right away. And I couldn't understand why other passengers on the subway couldn't say, hey man, choking a man out, a black man. Mind you, there's another black man there at the time while Jordan was being choked. So where is that black man that was actually helping when Jordan was getting choked for 15 long minutes? That's not a martial artist. Every martial artist knows that you can't put a man in a chokehold for not even 30 seconds. So why would you put a man in a chokehold for 15 minutes? Now, as a martial artist myself, in practice, you do not choke a man for no more than 30 seconds, friends. You can kill a man within 20 seconds. A chokehold is used to subdue an individual when they are harmed. It's not to take away their life, it's to put them in conscious for the time being, or slow them down. But no. But everyone has two sides of this story here, and I'm telling you two sides of the story here in this video. That Jordan was being aggressive, but he was angry because the city rejected him as a person. So I ask you New Yorkers and all the tourists that come to New York City, when you look at a homeless person, do you personally say to yourself, oh, look at that, look, because I see it all the time. And I speak German, I speak French, and I hear it all the time. I'm not trying to discriminate against anyone that's traveling from Germany or France, because I'm French native as well. But I speak multiple languages, friends. A little bit Japanese, a little bit Korean, a little Thai, a little Hmong. Practice my little Chinese. Now I'm practicing multiple other languages like Spanish and Arabic dialect. But for the city itself to not see the fundamental of how, if you, New York City, was to help the homeless. Mind you, if you can help these asylum seekers get housing for the winter, when you did not do that for the homeless, this is why I'm asking the city, where are you allocating all this money for the asylum seekers? When homeless men and women that have been in the city longer have been asking for the same services but was told no. So I ask the New Yorkers this, why didn't you protect Jordan before this happened? Why didn't you protect everyone else before this happened? Because it doesn't make sense why now everybody in half of New York City is in this protest violent state, because it is. You guys are doing violent protest. It's domestic terrorism when you trash and you destroy property. Don't be what we do, what happened in Wisconsin. And I lived in Wisconsin for over 15 years, friends. Never had a racist issue in Wisconsin while being a student and living there in Madison, Wisconsin. I might have issues with people saying something more like, you know, you should eat more cheese, or you should give it a try, you know? But when I came to New York, it's always violent. It's always been violent. It's always been neglected. It's always been deceptive. It's always been fake. But the city has potential to do better, but it refuses to do better. It just refuses to do better. And I don't understand why. When you guys could be the better city out of all the other cities in the world, but you choose not to be the better cities in the world. You have a fucked up mayor, Adams, that literally wants to take, I know what he is. Like I said to everybody, he's always be a cop or we will stay a cop. He thinks like a cop. I'm not saying that in a bad way, but his motives of he wants to see, what, the DA's outcome? Dude, you're a mayor. You should demand justice for any of your citizens. That's point one. That's why you became a mayor. To protect and uphold the law and protect the citizens of this city. You don't protect one side. That's why you guys have a very dysfunctional mayor. First he was against the marijuana, now he's applauding about marijuana. Now he tells tourists, please go to our dispensaries, go to our stores, go to our restaurants, spend money. That's what he said. Now, it's like every time a homeless man is a victim of a crime, he wants to play innocent. And as someone that's houseless, this is not the answer, friends. Your mayor is not the answer. Your politicians are not the answer. Your government, your broken system is not the answer. It's just making problems even worse when you have people in charge that don't care. Someone should take a playbook out of Finland's playbook, you know, in the States, or in Denmark's playbook. Someone really should take some notes from other countries, how to deal with the homeless in the right way. Because honestly, the U.S. is not doing shit in the right way when it comes down to the homeless. But No one cares about us until we die. Why now wait until after our deaths to do something when you could have done something before our deaths? That's called preventing lives from losing an opportunity to seek a future. This is why I don't trust people, and I don't trust a lot of people, because the people in this city are so two-faced sometimes. They're nice to you one day and then they just ignore you the next day, as if they don't know who you are. And you see me every day. Do you see me committing crimes? I'm the Panda photographer. I don't commit crimes. I don't solicitate. I don't even panhandle in New York City. I make content. So you can make the choice to support the channel or not. There's one rules I don't do in New York City. Don't panhandle. Don't beg. Don't bother people when they are trying to live a good and happy life. And let's be honest, you know, New Yorkers can afford to give $1 or $2 to a homeless man. Because if I can do it and I'm homeless, you can do it too. And that's the messed up part. Another homeless person is giving money away to another homeless man or woman or child. What does that say about your integrity, who you really are? Why did you come to the city to live? You came here to work? You came here to prosper? You came to make the city better. Am I right or wrong? You came here to make life better for everyone, including yourself. You came to contribute. Not cause chaos and then neglect and don't take notice. All lives matter, friends. White, black, Asian, brown, I don't care. All lives matter. So I ask you again, ladies and gentlemen, what would it take for you to help someone like me or someone like them sitting in the park just like everyone else? We all pay taxes to be in the park. And this is what some people do in this park. And I'm telling you from experience. And the people from the clubhouse can vouch for this. I'm in McLaren Park in Greenpoint. There was a woman that comes by here all the time telling homeless people to get out the park. You don't belong in the park. First of all, this is all our park. We taxpayers, we pay for this park. And then I believe homeless men and women and children that are houseless and live out here in the streets of New York City deserve to be in the park and have a peaceful day and enjoy the scenery and the landscape in the agriculture of this beautiful park. But no, people like her, like the person in Central Park West, the Russian rich woman we experience, telling me to get out her neighborhood. Stop recording and get out her neighborhood. You don't belong here. Remember that last year? We don't belong here. That's how disgraceful New York is. You have people that don't really deserve to be here. Because New York City, when I was used to come here as a kid, rollerblading and skateboarding and rollerblading, and it was fun. But now it's not so much fun. Now you have to watch your back. You got MTA employees picking a fight with my camera equipment, my wagon, when they're much bigger strollers than my fucking camera equipment being brought on the fucking train. You got a agent booth on Bedford Avenue, MTA, that literally wants to harass me. This is why I'm suing you for harassment and discrimination. And now MTA told him to leave me alone. I wonder why. See? But no one contributes. No one in New York realizes what Jordan had to go through. Jordan has to go through all these problems in this city: discrimination, harassment, no food for maybe a day or two. And yeah, you might have say, well, isn't there food places where he can go? Yes, but keep in mind, once you leave the subway, you got to pay a fare. And these places are scattered. And not all of them cater to some people's dietitian methods or requirements. Because a lot of these places don't have professional dietitians. If someone has an allergy to something or can't eat something because they have medical issues, they can't eat certain foods. Like I have allergies, right? I can't eat certain foods. This is why I was like, yo, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have very good vegan options, then, and keep in mind, in the homeless community, in the homeless shelters or food banks, there's really no vegan option. You either have to eat raw vegetables or fruits or cook raw vegetables and fruits. And this is another way how you can do it, homeless men and women and children. You can come to this very same park. There's barbecue, grill stuff. And yes, you have to buy the barbecue, but some people leave some charcoal left behind. You can use wood if you choose to, but like, there's ways how to cook meals if you're homeless. I have a book guide on this, how to survive on $1 a day. But in New York City, you can't survive on $1 a day. It's impossible. It never is possible. Because everything is expensive, even water is expensive now due to inflation. Water used to be $1.50, now it's $4 or $5 now for a gallon. Almost $4 for a gallon now. That's 300% value now. Rent is up. Transportation, if they want to increase it to $2.90 from $2.75, that's 15 cents matter to each and every person in this city. It matters because it adds up. But still, for Jordan, it adds up for him too. Because he was trying to save. He was trying to do the right thing. He was trying to be noble. And he's watching. This is what, and I can understand Jordan. Because I watch you as a citizen walk by me every day and eat those delicious meals. And you sit there and you see me on the street corner, which I'm never on the street corner, but you see all the homeless men and women on the street corner watching you doing this while you walk by, like, oh, that looks good. You don't think that's going through their mind when you walk by, when they see food in your hand, like, oh, that looks good. They wish they could have that, but they can't. They can't have that because you won't give it to them. This is why New York City needs to do better. I need to do better. I'm 43 years of age. I travel the world, friends. I've seen a lot. I know a lot. And the way how people in New York City waste food every single day, I'm sorry, but people in Ethiopia and other countries, and third world countries, can really use that food that you throw away. Or even better, the food that you throw away, you should feed that to the homeless. Especially certain markets here in New York City, like, what is that, West Side Market? You throw away a lot of fruits and vegetables, friend. Garden of Eden on Broadway and 107th. Is it 107 or 108? Yeah, check that place. They throw tons of vegetables and fruits. And I recorded them doing that last year, in 2021, in the summer. Tons of vegetables and fruit. So evil that you don't consider donating that to a shelter where it could be neutralized as nutrients, food, vitamin B12, which we do need. B12 is important. Vitamin D, vitamin K. We need the vitamin C. We need nutrients. Eating out the garbage and eating is not really the way. Now you're getting... Eating out the trash is another way people have to survive. And I have seen that lately from young homeless people. Not the older homeless people, from young homeless people. All you have to do is take a trip down to Midtown and you see all the young people on dope, drugged up. You see all the freaking wannabe pot dealers selling HAC marijuana or whatever they want to sell. That's a hustle. I'm not knocking it. But what about Jordan? What if Jordan wants to have some good times? What about Jordan? What if he wanted to have a moment with you and have a conversation with you and talk to you about his homelessness and how he has to deal with it? He never got a chance to tell his story. So I'm going to tell a story for him, for someone that's been in his shoes and know what it's like to be in the city. And like I said, I've been here for about 2 years and 4 months now. My first year was kind of rocky because when I first came back to New York in October 21, I was robbed. took my passports, they took my Japanese attire, they took my bow ties, my dress clothes, my shoes. I have like $5,000 worth of clothes in that bag. They took everything, friends. It took me into 2022 of May to get both my passports back, which I got them right here. And yes, I do have a press pass of New York City because, like I said, I'm a documentarian journalist. Documentarian photographer and a YouTuber. And I tell stories for the fact that what is real. So in May of 2022, when I finally got my passport back, it was either leave New York City or stay in New York City. There was a choice. So I decided to stay and see how long I can survive in New York City. Can I survive in New York City for another winter? That was the goal. And I proved why I can survive New York City in the winter. And keep in mind, we didn't get snow this year in New York City, but it was a pretty frosty one. It's pretty cold. You can catch frostbites. You can get your foot and your legs amputated, your toes amputated, your arms amputated due to frostbite. And that's happened in New York City. If you look around the homeless people area on the subway, you see how their legs are deformed, they have a leg disease. Yeah, some of these homeless men and women are about to get their limbs amputated because we failed to protect them and give them services. Because I recorded the other day, BRC just listening to blasting hip hop music inside one of the vehicles. And they saw me recording, and they saw the press pass, and now they want to get out the vehicle and go into the subway for 5 minutes. They didn't think I saw that. You went in the subway 5 minutes when there was no homeless in that Astro Place subway, because I just got out of that Astro Place subway. No, I didn't get out that Astro. I got out 14th Street, and then this is why I said, why are they not at 14th Street talking to the homeless? Because there are a ton of homeless in that subway. They're not in Astro Place. If they are in Astro Place subway, they are in the back, sleeping or doing drugs. But you didn't go back there, did you? This is why I'm telling you that the activists in New York City that work for these 501c3 that goes, there's another word called, ground control? Boo. You guys never been to college, have you? Have you understand what to do as a social worker, as an activist to a 501c3 organization? That's what you are. Do you understand what your job requirements are? Because I used to do what you do professionally for a state of Wisconsin. I filed my EEOC against Porchlight because they were violating clients' human, civil, and constitutional rights in that place. And I have evidence. I have posted evidence on YouTube several dozen times. So I asked New York City this question again. What about Jordan? What are you going to do for Jordan? Are you going to pay for his funeral expenses? Because I think New York City should. I think New York City should pay for his funeral expenses. I think everyone in New York City should give $1 for his funeral expenses. There's 12 million people in the city. I think that is enough to give $1 per person to pay for this innocent homeless man's hard life to being homeless and hungry on the streets of New York City. When, like I said earlier, you have establishments in the city throwing away good, perfectly good food in the trash. And black bags too, because they tried to hide it. You're supposed to put them in clear bags or blue bags, but you put them in black bags so you can think that's trash. I'm not stupid, friend. This is why I do what I do as a documentarian. I know exactly what establishments do when they want to throw away food. So I ask you this, are you going to protect me and to protect the rest of the homeless from now on in this city? From its corrupt police, its mayor, its politicians, its city officials, its system. And I think, as a non-native, because I'm not from New York, I think everyone should cater to the native homeless New Yorkers first. There are homeless people that have been here for like 20 years, and they're still houseless, still waiting online for housing. It's a shame, that we live in a society that we all want to dictate over someone and control over someone, but not help someone. This is why mental health plays a part in our lives. When we want to be loved, we want to be cared for, and people don't want to care for us, we think the opposite. We think about, if no one cares, then I should not care. Suicide is a very important topic, ladies and gentlemen, because it happens to every homeless person, including myself. How you guys just rejected us. We cry, if you believe it or not. We have cried every single day because we watch you have fun, we watch you laugh, and we want that same feeling. But you don't think we want that same feeling, do you? You think we just want to cause misery and pain. You think we want to be out in the streets. No, it's society that wants us to either suck up to its bullshit or its unfairness. I'm not the type of person that literally bows down to government. I'm sorry, I'm not against government, I'm not about government, but I am not about being overrun by a society that doesn't believe in protecting itself or its people. We live in a culture, first of all, we're a species that kill itself. You don't see lions killing themselves, or monkeys, or pandas, or horses killing themselves, or alligators. Only humans are the only species on this planet that kills everything, including itself. That's proof. And I'm a Buddhist. This is why I don't believe in God. Because if there was a God, and I'm not saying that there's no God, and you guys can take this with a grain of salt, God should help us fight these demons and these deceptions from these people that run offices and run the way how the government and the country is run. That'd be a surprise. So with that said, everyone, homelessness is not a joke. Homelessness is not a crime. Homelessness is basically a death sentence. So if you really want to be real about this, ladies and gentlemen, homelessness is a death sentence. Homeless people die every day on the streets. It's a death sentence. Homeless people have to fight over food from another homeless person because it's a death sentence. Because you have homeless men, like I said earlier, homeless men and women, and young men and young women want to cause mischief, wants to cause problems for everyone, including other good homeless men and women. But, as I said before, where was New York City when Jordan needed the help? When he was hungry, cold, wet? Where were you for the last 7 days when it rained for 7 straight days here in New York City? Where were you? I know where I was, out here, getting wet, destroying my boots and my clothes, getting my stuff wet. Now I gotta dry all my stuff out. Where were you? Yes, I could have got a hotel or hostel with my money that I have, but I needed to buy a new wagon because the wagon broke. So I put my financials into buying another transportation utility wagon to transport what I need. So I did the right deed by spending my money on the wagon. Where were you when I needed your help? When I broke my wagon? See? That's the message I'm trying to prevail to you. Where are you when good homeless men and women need the help? If you really want to find good homeless men and women, just walk around, pay good observation, and I mean good observation to your surroundings. Because a lot of New Yorkers do not pay good observation. They're too busy looking on the goddamn phone and running into me all the damn time. If you watch my live streams, you see that happen quite often with the wagon. Oh, I'm sorry. And I always say this, stop looking down onto your phones and pay attention to what you're doing in this city. So with that said, everyone, I want New Yorkers to know that Jordan didn't have to die because you decided to neglect him this whole entire time. He was 30, I'm 43. He still had time to shine. He still had time to progress his life and get his life in check. And someone decided to be a vigilante. And mind you, sometimes I am a vigilante, but I don't choke people. Yeah, I have been a vigilante in the city, NYPD. I have seen other people harass other people, and I came into the need. Like you said, NYPD, and like you said, Mayor, if you see something, say something, right? I said something and did something. Did you say something, did something when Jordan was getting choked out in New York City? Hell no. No one did nothing but choke this man, hold this man down until he passed away. It's not just the Marine that should be going to jail. It should be the other two individuals that attended the Marine to go to jail with him. Homicide, they all should have the same charges. All three men. Not just one man, all three. Seriously, friends. Because if it wasn't for the other men, I'm pretty sure Jordan would probably got away from that chokehold. Because there's ways to get out of the chokehold, friends. Like I said, I study in some martial arts. There's a way to get out of chokeholds. I wish I could demonstrate it for you if someone, but I don't want to do that. Not on this channel. Already, YouTube is not liking my channel. YouTube doesn't show my live streams. YouTube wants to be biased because I'm a homeless individual sharing real stories and real facts about how society fails itself, why we are never going to be a civilization 2. This is why we are civilization 1. We do not have the competency, the resources, not even planetary resources to build such mega structures. Because we still are not that smart enough to even overcome our own issues. Every day I have to struggle to find something to eat. Yeah, I spent all my money replacing my wagon. $160, well, with the JB Weld stuff and the welding stuff, yeah. I spent a lot of money. I spent all my money. And this is what I get. With that said, everyone, I'm the Panda Photographer. I'm also known as Keiki Alexander. Keiki, like Kiki, because you men never could pronounce my name correctly. Keiki, like cake that you eat, key that you turn. Keiki, 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 all right? Keiki, for you illiterate, non-speaking English people that can't pronounce 5 letters. Keiki, not Kiki. Kiki's girl. So keep that in mind, friends. Like I said, I'm a travel documentary photographer. Yesterday, I was at the Lintu's garden doing some micro photography. If you didn't see that live stream, I just feel that Jordan needs to be well respected. Even though Jordan, I'm sorry, friend, that you had to yell and scream and threaten people on the subway, but you did not have a right to get choked out by some ex-Marine at I'm so confused. How is he an ex-Marine at the age of 24? I think they got that wrong. Ex-Marine at the age of 24? I would expect ex-Marine at the age of 44. But ex-Marine at age 24 doesn't sound right to me. Sounds like he's just a martial artist and that he's in the military. So we need to follow up on that story too, because it doesn't sound right. How you be 24 and an ex-Marine? Yeah, ex-Marine. That doesn't sound right, friend. But with that said, everyone, wish me a good day, because this is going to be a tough one. Like yesterday, we were pretty hungry. This is how our bodies decay. We don't get the substance that we need. We don't get the nutrients that we need. We feel sluggish. We feel like fatigued. We feel tired when we don't eat. So please support good homeless men and women, ladies and gentlemen, in your city. It only takes a few bucks or a good to-go meal to make someone happy. If they don't want the food, then you know that they don't want food. They want something else, and you cannot provide that for them. And that's where the city needs to help people fight addiction. With that said, everyone, I hope you have a good time and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And we have some comments here. I'm going to go by the comments. Welfare office. Well, we don't support welfare because I don't use welfare, so I don't get food stamps and I don't want food stamps. So you have a pretty good channel, you have a lot of subscribers, and I'm sure you can get paid right. It's not about pay, Mario, it's about getting the message out. I don't care about money. I never did care about YouTube money or anything. I don't get paid by YouTube. And YouTube doesn't want to share my content to a bigger audience because YouTube thinks it's not what they consider as the guidelines. All right? I'm sure YouTube helps you live your life on something. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve, Mr. Brown, can you please tell Mr. Mario here that YouTube does not help this channel. You guys help this channel. YouTube's never helped this channel. YouTube make my life miserable. They demonetize every single video. And then I have to like request a appeal and wait 7 days. That's not making money, friend. I'm definitely a resilient man. I don't know. I know I grew up in a country, first and foremost, I grew up in several countries, just be honest. Canada, Japan, and the EU, and some states, right? Education-wise, I got my education outside of the states, friends. Structure. Understand how to be kind, be nice, be structurally responsible for my own actions. And this is why I took it upon myself and said to let everyone know that I'm sick of people telling me that what I should do or should not do when I already know what to do, structurally. I had this guy from Alaska yesterday and the day before stalking me again, telling you guys that he offered me a job, and I keep telling him, where is the email for the job? Ladies and gentlemen, never take a job offer when someone is saying that they will give you a job and give you a house and pay for your flight, because that's a risk. That person could be a stalker. That person could be a mass killer. To come all the way to Alaska from New York, yeah, friend, no one's going to do that. No one's going to take risks, especially when we don't even know who you are. So yeah. So with that said, everyone, let's try to live our day. At least I got free filter water in this park. God damn it, because Central Park does not have free filter water. So with that said, everyone, I'm a man that's trying to do the right thing. And Jordan deserves better. And I believe, and as I said earlier, New York City should pay for Jordan and Neely's funeral. It's not that much. How much is the funeral cost going to cost? 15 grand? 50,000? 20 grand? 15 at most? I think New York City can cough up $1 or $2 from each citizen. And I think if each citizen wanted to do that GoFundMe to help him, please do so. But where was his family when he needed his family? And let me tell you, no offense to Neely's family, Mr. Jordan's family and all, but now his family speaks out. Now his family speaks out. Where was his family when he was homeless? And I'm pretty sure, it seems like Jordan was homeless since the age of 18, 19 years of age. Because if you do a background check on Jordan Neely, he's been in the system, like he said. I did a background check. He's been arrested about 37 times, like they said. Aggravated assault, which technically, what's aggravated assault, friends? In NYPD's perspective. That could be the falsified charge right there. Because NYPD officers do not even know their own laws. They don't even understand the Constitution. first and foremost, you can't record inside of NYPD police station. That is a public place for public servants, serving the public. For an NYPD officer to kick out an auditor from Long Island, which happened recently, which is the disgrace, Mayor. Your police stations are the safe haven for citizens. I used to use police stations to sell the items off of Craigslist. Now we're not allowed to record in police stations? Under what law? Under what constitutional law says that you can't record in a police station? When it's a police station with public servants that taxpayer dollars pay for. That's our building. We can record in the building. So with that said, everyone, like I said, New York City doesn't even know their own laws. Police officers don't even know constitutional law. So with that said, everyone, thank you, Mr. Brown. Peace and well to you this day too, sir. I was at Flatiron the other day, hoping maybe I could run into you, but I did not see you. What is this guy looking at? So with that said, everyone, sorry, when you're out here, you get colds, you get stuffed nose, you get mucus. So I'm drinking fresh water, like I do every day. And I want to apologize to all my Latino friends. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I know I'm late. But man, I did not realize Friday that it was Cinco de Mayo because I was so busy trying to find food and trying to find work for this weekend. And I did not pay attention. I'm sorry. When you are trying to survive out in New York City, you just lose all consciousness of holidays. And I think the United States have too many fucking holidays anyway. That's just my opinion, friends. But I think Jordan needs to be respected. I think Jordan needs to be honored. I think justice needs to be served. Because I'm also looking for justice for Neely. And that's not been served yet either. If you guys didn't know about my other half, this is my other half. She was also murdered by 5 young people in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, back in 2020, September. And when I found out, I was pretty fucking pissed off. I went back to Milwaukee. I went back to Wisconsin in 2021. And I tried to do the right thing. I even hired a fucking lawyer for the family. I even tried to get on terms with Nancy and find out how can I help. Because E was a very good person, ladies and gentlemen. She didn't do drugs, she didn't do alcohol. All she wanted was a spicy Thai mama noodles, her Pepsi. She wasn't a big fan of candy, but she did eat candy from now and then. But the girl was small and can eat like a champion. And yeah, she was taken from me. And I've been trying to fight justice ever since, friends. So I'm also going through my own mental crisis. And this is what I said earlier. Neely. There's no justice for her and her family. This is why I said what I said about this country and any other country that wants to violate constitutional law and human rights and civil rights. What about and here's the thing, Black, Asian, and Latino men and women are more subject to violent crimes from police officers and others due to our skin, our race, and our ethnicity where we come from. So we all in this boat together, friends. We all in this boat. Muslim or not, or Indian or not, or Greek or not, or German or not. We all in this fight together, friends. And I lost someone too. So keep that in mind. But with that said, everyone, you guys want to contribute to the content? You want to contribute to some breakfast? You want to contribute to maybe me getting around. So you know what? I'm not even going to take the subway today because I'm pretty sure more protesters are going to back up the trains like they did yesterday. I couldn't move yesterday because of the protest. You guys prevented me from looking for subsidence yesterday because you guys wanted to protest. You stopped trains yesterday in New York City. It was so many delays. How am I supposed to look for food when you guys are out there holding up and stopping trains? Exactly my point. If you guys want to contribute, there's a Patreon. You want to join my Patreon? Please join the Patreon. If you don't want to join my Patreon, you want to direct support to help me get some subsistence, that's okay, or transportation, that's fine. There's a PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. There's a Google Pay and an international wise account for you international viewers that are looking at this content, that want to contribute, even though I know PayPal is also international, but international wise is a pretty damn good, platform to exchange money. I mean, my parents used it before I was disowned. We used it quite often to, transfer money from bank account to bank account, but it's a reliable system and I trust it. And I always use a VPN, so always use a VPN when you're doing these transactions. If you guys don't know what a VPN is, and I'm not sponsored by VPN, but VPNs help you protect yourself from unwanted criminal activities on your cell phone device, laptops, or desktop devices. So if I were you, download a VPN to protect your activity on your devices. So it does help, and I recommend, even if you're homeless, there are free VPNs that you can use for a short period of time when you're doing very important transactions like bank transactions or buying food transactions, because there are ways how hackers can hack Grubhub and take all your information, your credit card information. So this is why I ask you guys to please use VPNs when you're doing something online with your devices, because a lot of people still to this day do not use VPNs. But if you guys want to contribute to the content, you know how to do it. All the links are down in the descriptions below. But I'm going to get going. You guys have a good day. Peace.